So hello there everyone, this is Phantom Dose and today I'm going to be doing What If Deku was sent to the 7 Deadly Sins World Part 2. So like I said, these videos are only going to be at least 24 to 26 minutes long because this is going to reach all, and when I mean all the way, I'm going to make it, I'm technically going to make this whole series be more longer than my old series. So you guys can be expecting Part 3 tomorrow. And what if Goku was a half demon will be post not today but later. So let's start. So we're starting at the forest of white dreams. So when Izuku, Meliodas, and Elizabeth and Hawk told Hawk's mother to stay in a spot, they started to walk inside of the forest of white dreams. As Hawk still asked Meliodas, "Are you? Do you have any proof that one of the 7 deadly sins could be in this forest?" And Meliodas still said the same thing. He said he doesn't have any proof. So Hawk still got mad because Meliodas didn't have any proof, and they were technically, and Hawk felt like they were going straight to their death. But then Izuku said, "Oh, not really. We're not going straight to our death. There actually is proof that there's someone here. I sense magic. And one more thing, Hawk. If you feel like who would live here and why we hear rumors or people stay here, so the only person that will come here to hide would be someone that couldn't walk on by a horse, right? Couldn't ride a horse through here. So the proof would be that the one of the sins are actually hiding here." As Hawk was like, as Meliodas said, well, Isuku, you're smarter than I expected. As Isuku just said, yeah. Then Elizabeth still felt like something was missing, and we all know Meliodas was the one that stole it. So yeah, as Izuku then said, then Izuku went close to Meliodas' ear and said, "Did you took Elizabeth's underwear?" As Meliodas says, maybe, maybe not, as he smiled at Izuku. Then Izuku said, "Oh Jesus, Meliodas the dragon sin, the dragon sin of wrath. It's more funny. It's more crazier than I thought he would be." Then Meliodas started to smile. But then Hawk said, "Come on, you guys are slowpokes." Then when Izuku looked, he saw that behind Hawk there was 7 of him. There were 7 Hawks. As Izuku said, "Wait, why is there 7? Oh, hey Meliodas, we better jump back." As Meliodas said, "Wait, what do you mean jump back?" Then I said, "Just jump." Then Meliodas saw that there was at least 11 Hawks coming after them. As Izuku then said, "Well, I'm not gonna cut the person, but I'm gonna do this." As Izuku went running through them, making them all hit their heads. As Hawk says, "Not even my mommy would hit me that hard." Then we continue. Then Hawk went to hide behind Elizabeth. As Elizabeth, as Hawk still, Hawk basically still, the people that were turned into Hawks turned into Elizabeth. As Izuku said, "Wait, why is there 6 Hawk? Why is there more Elizabeth?" As Meliodas was thinking in his head, "A lot of boobs, just so many boobs." As Izuku said, as Izuku looked at Meliodas and read his mind and said, "Jesus, Meliodas, help her." And Meliodas said, "Okay, I'm sorry." Then Izuku laughed and said, "Don't worry, you've been like this for your whole life, so it doesn't matter to me." As Izuku said, "Should I knock the rest of them out, or should I let you play your game?" As Meliodas said, "How about you let me play the game." As Meliodas started to say, okay, everyone." As Meliodas said, "Okay, put one hand in the air and one in your cheek. and one on your cheek, and Jesus, I don't know why I have to bring this Meliodas quote into the series, but I have to, and say my name as Izuku just face bombs. Meliodas, the dragon's sin. As Meliodas just started to laugh, Izuku then said, "My God." But then Meliodas said, "Okay, I'll stop with the games. Okay, all of you, jump into the air as high as you can." All of them jump, but one didn't, which was the original Elizabeth. As Elizabeth said, "I can't." As Izuku said, then Izuku said, "Even though my sword is technically broken, I might as well use it." Jesus, sorry, Ark. Basically, the name that I gave the strongest archangel, his name will be Ark, and the Demon King, I still haven't come up with a name for him, so I'll tell you later. As Izuku says, "Sorry, Ark, I technically broke your sword." As Izuku then jump into the air and slash through the fake Elizabeth, which the fake Elizabeth were turned into three copycatters as Izuku saw them running, and then Izuku said, "Well, Meliodas, give Elizabeth back her underwear and let's go." As Izuku and Meliodas started to run, then Elizabeth said, "So you had them." Meliodas said, "Sorry, Elizabeth." Then we continue. Elizabeth, everyone got to the point where they saw a giant sleeping on the ground. Then the little people were saying, Lady Diane, holy knights are in the forest." As Diane woke up and says, "You're in trouble, holy knights." As she grabbed both Izuku and Meliodas. Then Izuku said, Jesus. Not even I with immortality could handle this much pain. As Izuku said, then Izuku said, Then Izuku said to Meliodas, So how are we gonna get her to talk?" As Meliodas said, "Easy. Hi, Diane. It's been so long. Is it? It's been at least 10 years. So how has it been?" Elizabeth was wondering who was Meliodas talking about. After that, Diane looked at Meliodas correctly and said, "Captain, Captain, Captain." And when she looked closely, then she started to yell in happiness. She then said, "Captain." I'm going to pause real quick. No, you know what? Forget about it. Let's continue. So then Izuku said. Then Izuku said, "So she recognized you more faster than she did for me." So then, after a few moments of Meliodas talking to Diane then asked, "So who's this kid over here?" Meliodas then explained that Izuku is the new member of the Seven Deadly Sins. Then Izuku looks at Diane and says, "Hi." I'm gonna pause real quick. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Alright, sorry, I had it to sneeze. So then then looked at Diane and said, "Well, Diane, the serpent's in, right?" As Diane said, "How do you know that?" "Oh, if I know your captain is one of the seven deadly sins, I know you're one of them as well." Then, after a few moments, Diane looked at Izuku closely and said, "Why is your hair so long?" As Izuku said, "Oh, sorry. My hair's so long because I really didn't want to cut my hair. And I really don't look the same as I did when I first came to this world." Shizuku was just remembering what happened to him he first come here. All the harsh training he had to go through with those two powerful reincarnation of his. Then after a few moments, Diane let go of both Izuku and Meliodas. As Meliodas said, "Well, Diane, I think we better get going." Then Diane saw Elizabeth and said, she then started to do the same thing she did in the anime. She started to make Meliodas look like a bloody pope. As Meliodas, when she stopped, Meliodas then explained that Elizabeth is trying to save her kingdom from the Holy Knights because they're the true people that are just starting to they're trying to start a war that has been ended for 3,000 years. As Meliodas then said, wow, I think I said way too much. Then Elizabeth said, I'm sorry, I think if I did anything wrong in your relationship. As Izuku then said, you did nothing wrong. It's just that these two are not in a relationship. It looked like they. Uh, the Ant tried to punch Izuku, but Izuku caught her punch and just when Izuku caught her punch, it looked so weird. She was like, wait, how could you catch that? As Izuku said, I'm more stronger than I look. Then Izuku touched her with one finger using at least 2% of her power and sent her flying through the whole forest. That it let a giant hole in the middle of it. As Izuku said, wait, did I use too much force? Then Meliodas said, no, 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 no. You gotta be kidding me, my guy. You used too much force. As the Izuku then said, oh, I'm sorry, Diane. You tried to punch me. Then Diane got out of the rock and said, how is this guy so strong? As Izuku said, but I thought that was only 2% of my power. Diane was like, wait, what the heck? As Izuku then said, I hear lightning coming. And then Hawk said, I smell lightning as well. When before they could blink, someone appeared in front of them, covering Diane, Meliodas, Elizabeth, and Izuku and Hawk in lightning. As Izuku said, oh Jesus, not this man. A holy knight. And we own these two holy knights are. But Izuku could sense another scent of smell. As Izuku can sense a holy knight that can use lightning and other holy knight that can use fire and ice. Yes, this is Shoto Todoroki. As Izuku said, oh Jesus, don't tell me they became holy knights. As Todoroki appeared in nowhere and with Guild Thunder. As Elizabeth said, Guild Thunder. And Shoto? Yes, Elizabeth wouldn't know who Shoto or Todoroki would be because before she left, Todoroki class 1 already joined the Holy Knights. They're no longer apprentices. Yes, I was not with them. I forgot to explain that. Then Izuku looked at Shoto. Shoto could sense an normal aura that usually one person that he knows would always have around. As he said, are you one of the 7 deadly sins? You kid. As Izuku said, I'm not a kid. You know that we're the same age, right? As Meliodas said, I recognize you. Aren't you Little Gil? As Gil Thunder said, Meliodas, the captain of the 7 deadly sins. There has been a bounty set on you guys for all of the holy knights of Leonis to come kill you all since. As these then Meliodas said, so there has been a bounty or a warning set on us to kill us. Then Izuku said, Jesus, they're gonna put one on me next? Then Meliodas said, not yet, they don't know you're a member of the 7 deadly sins. As Izuku just said, you just said it. Then Meliodas said, how about you go fight the red and white haired kid? As Izuku then said, okay, he released 2% of his powers. As Izuku then jumped into the air, breaking the chains. As he said, as he then said, then Izuku said, Lightning King armor. As when little girl heard that name, he was like, "What the heck? His eyes just opened wide as he said, "How could you use my technique?" As Izuku said, I know how to use many techniques." As Izuku then went straight to Guild Thunder. As Izuku went straight to Shoto and Guild Thunder, destroying the grounds that they were in. As Meliodas and Elizabeth and Diane and Hawk were unchained. As Izuku and Meliodas said, "How about we give them both a fight that they'll never forget?" Then Izuku smiled and said, "Yeah, you have a point." As Izuku then said, Lightning King Iron Hammer," as a lightning bolt went straight to Todoroki. As Todoroki then said, "Second form, Fire Dragon." When Todoroki shoot his sword into the air, he has two swords, which one is ice and one is fire. As Todoroki then sent out a dragon made out of fire towards Izuku. As Izuku then said, "Accelerate." He disappeared from Todoroki's view and appeared behind him, kicking him from the back. As Todoroki then appeared behind Izuku and said, "Third form, Eye Slash," slashing Izuku in the back. As Izuku said, part of the plan, getting into the ground. The same thing happened to Meliodas, getting a cut in his body. As Meliodas said, "Kid followed the plan perfectly good." Then Little Gil said, as a reward for you guys, I will give you one last request. As Meliodas said, "You know what happened to the other deadly sins, 7 deadly sins?" As Little Gil explained that King is questioned to be dead. Bondi undead is in one of the greatest prisons in Britannia. As Izuku said, "Huh, so prison." Then Izuku got up with Meliodas as Meliodas and Izuku smiled and said, "Huh, you seem like you're slower than we expected." As Meliodas and Izuku looked at each other and said, "Let's end this fight and send them both flying, right?" As Meliodas took out his sword and said, "Let's do it as well." As Izuku took out his sword, which his sword was engulfed in ice, creating a replacement sword for us since Izuku broke it, fighting against who? No, Izuku didn't broke it. He didn't break it. Izuku's sword was still fixed, but he technically broke it when he was just fighting against some Meliodas. Yes, that's the best excuse Izuku could come up with, since he didn't want to disappoint his master. As Izuku then said, "Second form, Ice Slash." He then slashed through Todoroki, but Todoroki used both of his swords and made a shield to protect both him and Guild. As when Izuku and Meliodas disappeared from their view, they little Gil and Todoroki threw up fists on their face, but that when they looked, they saw that it was Meliodas and Izuku. As Little Gil said, "What is your name, black-haired kid?" As Izuku said, "Izuku Midoriya, the Snake Sin. I am the new member of the 7 Deadly Sins. Well, no one should know about me just yet. So if you want to start a war, then start it. I'll be there to help the Sins." Then Izuku told Diane that she needs help to throw them. Izuku has a magic technique to make himself grow bigger as well. As Diane said, "Yeah, you can do it as well." As Izuku then made himself bigger, then Diane and him grab Todoroki and Little Gil. Then Todoroki said, "You won't win, Izuku! You are just a weakling, how could you win?" As Izuku said, "Todoroki, I think I think following Hendrickson's way made you a bit too cocky. So enjoy telling Bakugo how I am. As he threw Todoroki back, as they threw Todoroki and the little girl somewhere else. Which little girl Todoroki landed at a church like little girl did in the anime, or Gil Thunder. As Gil Thunder and Todoroki destroy the church. Then Meliodas and Izuku looked at their wound. As Izuku said, "Okay, everyone, let's go to Bostain Prison. We need to go find the sin of greed bond the undead." As Izuku smiled at Meliodas and said, "Yeah, let's go." And yes, warning: Elaine's resurrection would happen in part 4 and part 2 and part 3. So we continue. As Izuku said, "Nah, let's get going." When they were getting to Boston Prison, they had to stop by a little town. As Izuku and Meliodas shirts were broken. Then Diane and Elizabeth said that they should go get some rest or they would both die. As Izuku said, "Don't worry about me. Me and Meliodas are strong enough." As Izuku was still forgetting that he was immortal. But his immortality didn't get to his head, so he would forget. As Izuku and Meliodas both went to the same direction and landed on the floor. Then Diane told Elizabeth to go check on both of those two. When she went, she saw that those two were on the ground. Just unconscious. As Izuku said, "Jesus, I'm back in this unconscious world." Then Izuku looked around and saw Meliodas. As Meliodas said, "Jeez, what are you doing in this place?" Then Izuku said, "I came here because my we both got hit by powerful attacks. Remember? And I forgot that I'm immortal, so my immortality might take a while to heal me, but it'll heal me automatically. So, but I might be in this unconscious state for a while." Then Meliodas and Izuku started to talk on the unconscious world. As the Demon King came out of nowhere and said, "Izuku, you forgot your immortality, right?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, that immortality would have come in handy if I would have known that I couldn't die." As the doctor that Elizabeth took Meliodas and Izuku still fed the poison to Izuku and Meliodas, as Meliodas and Izuku felt poison going through their body. As Izuku then touched Meliodas on the head, making the poison not hit Meliodas. As Meliodas said, "Don't worry, I know Elizabeth will heal me." As Izuku said, "Yeah, she doesn't have to heal me. She'll see that my wounds will get automatically healed in a few minutes." As back in the real world, Elizabeth was seeing that Izuku's wounds were getting healed real fast, but he wasn't waking up. And yes, the sword of Izuku would just be rebuilt automatically. So then the sword of Izuku will rebuild. But if anyone touches that sword and breaks it again, the power of both the archangels that were before the 4 archangels and the power of the old Demon King that was Izuku's reincarnation were let loose. So this is going to be the end of part 2. Thank you guys for watching. This is Phantom Duos here, and hope you enjoy part 2 of What If Deku was sent to the 7 Deadly Sins world. And yes, next part will be Izuku and Meliodas waking up from a person trying to steal their swords. Goodbye, everyone.